I'm Hannah. I'm a tutor at Sky Academy, and we are looking at the topic measurement. Specifically, we are looking at rates and ratios, which is MS-M7. And this is our 8th video in this topic. So we are now looking at dividing a quantity when given a ratio. So for example, if you're sharing amount of money with people according to a ratio. So I'll do an example and we'll go through the steps. So say we'll stick to this example. So say we have $400 being shared between 2 people with the ratio of 3 to 1. And we have to figure out how much each person gets. So let's have a look and follow the steps. Calculate the total number of parts by adding each amount in the ratio. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. So the total number of parts in my ratio is 4. Divide the quantity by the total number of parts to determine the value of one part. So 400 divided by 4 will give me how much one part is. So 400 divided by 4 gives me 100. So one part equals $100. Multiply each amount of the ratio by the result in step 2. So 3 times 100 gives me 300. And 1 times 100 gives me 100. And so that's my ratio when I divide my money. Check by adding the answers for each part. 300 plus 100 equals 400. So essentially what you do is you add up the total number that the ratio results in. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Divide that by the money or whatever the quantity is. So 400 divided by 4, and then times that 1 by each individual part in the ratio. So let's have a look at another example. So James gave his 3 kids $6,000 to be divided among them. The ratio of the division was to be 5 to 8 to 7 to Lucy, Kale, and Mia respectively. So before I even answer the question, I'm going to write down 5 to 8 to 7, and I know respectively means in the same order. So Lucy will be 5, Kale will be 8, and Mia will be 7. Now I have to figure out how much did each person get. So following our steps from before, I'm going to add up each part. So 5 plus 8 plus 7 is going to give me a total of 20 parts. Once I've done that, I'm going to divide 6,000 by 20 to figure out how much one part would be. And once I've done that, I'll get an answer of 300. Now I'm going to times 300 by each individual part in the ratio. So, and then I'm going to write them here so I know how much money each person gets. So 300 times 5 for Lucy is going to be 1,500. 300 times 8 for Kale is going to be 2,400. And 300 times 7 for Mia is going to be 2,100. And so that's how much each person is going to get according to the ratio. And step 4 was to check that. So if we check that, so 1,500 plus 2,400 plus 2,100, and if I press equals, it should equal $6,000, which it does. So we know that our division of our ratios is correct.